Hi, this reading is for Scorpio for the month of November 2014. I do a 5-card spread, one for the overall environment and a card for each week. You don't have to take the card for each week necessarily for a week-by-week basis. It could be for an overall energy that you're going to feel throughout the month. I do an extra card for each card that I pull just to give me some more information about what's either helping you or blocking you. So let's begin here. So for Scorpio, the overall energies we got is the 7 of Pentacles. And the 7 of Pentacles is a money card. It's work, patience, rewarded, good news financially, usually done by oneself. A lot of hard work has gone into it. If you see it's on a tree, and instead of fruit, it's pentacles. And for a tree to grow fruit, it is seasonal. So it's seeds that you planted, and you're now seeing the rewards from it. It's ready to be picked. And after you pick stuff, you have to wait a few more seasons before you can pick some more stuff, unfortunately. Unless you live in a climate where it can go continuously. The card that's crossing that is the 9 of Pentacles. And the 9 of Pentacles is a financial success and material security. So overall, you guys seem to have a very, it's going to be a financial month for you guys, rewarding-wise. As you can see on this card, there's a lot of gold, including on her dress. So it's going to be quite rewarding. You can also see a bird. It looks like, well, you can't really see it, I guess. But it's a bird, and the bird kind of looks like it has a helmet on, which is a little weird. But, and 2 feathers sticking out of the helmet. So, if you've been seeing feathers a lot lately, it's a good sign. You're on the right path. So it looks right there that you don't really have anything crossing you that's preventing you. For the first week, we have the 10 of Swords. And the 10 of Swords, and people see this card, they're like, oh god, no. Especially for Scorpio. Saturn's been in Scorpio now for quite some time, so usually when Saturn's in your sign for the year, it's a rough year, and luckily for you Scorpios, take a deep breath because it's moving into Sagittarius. So those rough waters probably going to come to an end for you guys. Take a sigh of relief, people. The 10 of Swords is can represent a feeling of loss to the ending of a difficult situation. Within this card, we released and we're ready for new beginnings, for life moves in cycles. It can be warned about ruined plans or matters that don't materialize as hoped, leading to feelings of disappointment, but take comfort in the fact that perhaps they were just not meant to be. If this card appears in the future position, it acts as a warning. The outcome is now dependent upon the actions you take to avert the situation. Actions shape your destiny. The 10 of Swords, if you look in this card, the guy's laying down. It's almost like he's given up and he's saying, you know what, I've had enough. I can't do it anymore. Just let things fall where they may. But none of the swords are actually in his back. They're hovering above him. And each sword has a strip of light in it. And I would take this as lessons. Each one of these swords is a lesson coming down at you. So yeah, you might feel like, you know, I can't take it no more. Let the chips fall where they may. You just don't care. You can't handle any more obstacles coming at you or in your way, and don't look at them as obstacles. They're lessons, is what's happening. There's something that perhaps you haven't learned yet, so it's continuously replaying over and over until you've learned it. And lessons are blessings in disguise, so if it is something that you wanted and you didn't get it, it wasn't meant to be, and that's because there's something better for you around the corner. And what's crossing that is the 3 of Swords, and again, Scorpio, Saturn's moving out of your sign, so take a deep breath. With the Three of Swords, people see this as heartbreak. It could be a separation of a relationship. For me, though, swords are a mind card. Usually has to do with air. And yes, it's through the heart. But when your heart's broken, and because it's a sword, it's in the mind. It's all in your head. Your heart's not actually broken. Your heart is still whole. If you see in the card, there's no blood. In fact, there's the sun in the center of it. And if you look, the clouds are all clearing. So, I mean, there's new things ahead for you. And, again, like I said, it's all in your mind. You have that power to take those swords out and throw them aside or wheel them if you want, use them. This could also represent, with the Ten of Swords here, is that you're blocking your heart. That perhaps in a relationship or there was someone that you were interested in and it just didn't work out, and that's because maybe you're blocking it. You're not ready for love. You thought you were, but you might not be, because you still have walls up. You're still refusing to learn that lesson, look at what needs to be changing, and change it. It might not be the other person. It might have been you that was the cause of the problem, and not because you wanted it like that, because there is heartbreak. By all means, you didn't want it. It was just maybe in the past you've been hurt so many times that you didn't realize you had those walls. But you have control over all of this. It's in your mind. You have the power to change that. And they're just lessons. Through life, you're going to experience many more lessons, and you'll look back and you'll appreciate that situation for what it was, what it did to you, what it made, the changes in your life down the road. Maybe not this year. You feel like, this was a bad thing, but a year from now you're going to look back and say, well, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Yeah, it hurt, but you wouldn't be where you were a year from now in that happy circumstance if that bad circumstance didn't happen. For the second week, we have the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is completion of the first stage of a project or progress. So you are making progress, and with the red here, you'd have to say it with your heart. So now you know what you don't want and what you do want because of this. You're watching your ship coming in, and it's going to be your decision to go on that ship or not. With the wands, wands usually are associated with fire, and you got your back turned, so you're focused on what you want, which is a good thing. The Eight of Wands, again, another card to do with the heart. And if you see, the Eight of Wands are all in the air. So with the Eight of Wands, it's fast progress after delay in travel. So perhaps there's an adventure that you're going to be going on. Maybe it's overseas. And it's going to happen quickly, quite fast. Maybe there's a decision that you're going to have to make fast. And if you can see, it's green pastures here. Clear sky. And if you see that right there, you can see the sun. So whatever this is here in that first week, everything's going to be all good. The sun's there. Your heart's going to be healed. Like I said, with the Three of Swords, yes, it pierces through the heart, but it's in the mind. It's a sword. So when your heart's broken, that's all in your mind. It's not the end of the world. Not the only person there. There's always somebody else for you, or you might even work out the differences. It could just be that separation through distance. So maybe that's why you're going to travel, is to go see that person that you care about. In the third week, we have the Page of Cups. And pages are usually a young person. Page of Cups is a happy news, emotional nature, usually. Sensitive, creative child. Usually a fire child. Like for me, that's the way I interpret this because of all the orange. Cups being emotion. You're quite passionate about this, I would say. Your heart's in it, with the red here. And what's crossing that is the Five of Cups. So I would say, in order for you to be successful, you have to let bygones be bygones. Yes, you suffered loss, but you do have more to gain. There's 2 cups here, and you can pick those cups up and fill them again. They're just turned over, that's all. Pick them up, fill them up again. It's always a new day. With him on his knees, I kind of see like he's praying. Perhaps you need to pray to whatever you believe, ask the universe, angels, spirit, or just, I kind of feel like you need to get some stuff off your chest, whether that be in writing or praying. Sometimes we hold things in and we just need to talk about it, and if you feel like you can't talk to somebody about it, then talking to air might do you some good, just to get it out in the open. Can allow you to see things in a new light. This card could also mean that you're going to have to leave some things behind, but that's your choice. Nobody else's. That's your choice to do. We all have our own free will. We choose our own destiny. There might be a destiny planned for us, but we do have free will. We have the choice to either take it or not. So, and for the last week, we have the Four of Wands. And with the Four of Wands, it's, I see it as structure, stability. There's 4 posts, if you see, and they're within the posts, the flowers, a little dragonfly here. So perhaps somebody's born in the year of the dragonfly. And the rabbits, too. So this is a very loving card, I see this as. Perhaps maybe you need to see, get back in with November in America. I'm Canadian. I live in Canada. In America it's Thanksgiving, so perhaps you're going to meet your family, meet up with them again. Maybe that's what you need, is to be with family right now. Some support. You need some support. But you do have that stable foundation within yourself. If you don't have somebody there to give you support, you do have the support within yourself. So with the Four of Wands, it's stability, holidays, and marriage plans. Maybe some of you are going to get married, thinking about marriage, settling down. Maybe there's a child in your life, a new child coming. The card that's crossing that is the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords usually is an air sign. Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. And in this deck, the King of Swords is lifted up in the air, which I do see as an air sign. With this card, there's a lot of blue, but they're on the ground. And because of that, I feel like some earth might be involved in this. Maybe you have some Virgo in your chart, or maybe you need to get a little more grounded. But the Queen of Swords is a prospective lady, efficient, no-nonsense type. They do not like beating around the bush. They are a blunt and upfront person. They tell you how it is, how it's going to be. And if you need advice, a Queen of Swords person is the person you want to go to. If you can see at the very top, there's a light shining there. And I would assume that's the light of truth. Maybe you're coming to truth of matters of this difficult situation that occurred in the first week. And honestly, I don't feel like it's going to be that big of a deal. It's just maybe that 1 week it's a hiccup in the road. With the Queen of Swords, I would also say that it's a fact card. You're going to look at the facts for yourself. What's important to you. Because at the end of the day, when you do what's right for you, you do what's right for others. And it may seem sometimes that you have to hurt somebody, possibly. Let them go. And nobody enjoys doing that at the time, but it's best for them and it's best for you. And it's best for them because you're not allowing them to suffer. You're not leading them on. You're not giving them false hope. And you're letting them go so they can move on to find a better life for themselves, or